Good morning, Magic players. Welcome back to the Vortex. Check out our Patreon, now with Discord benefits. Newcomer Gunnar the Inferno Hunter brings Vadrok, Apex of Thunder. He's kept Dreamtail Heron, Izzet Signet, Arcane Signet, Sanctum of Eternity, Rogran Triumph, Command Tower, and Scalding Tarn. Slash and Flame return with Wyleth, Soul of Steel. I would also like to take a small amount of time to explain that this Wyleth deck is actually different from the one on a previous episode. The playgroup just happened to have two Wyleth decks when episodes 3 and then 8 through 11 were recorded. Anyways, Slash and Flame has kept a hand of Aethersworn Canonist, Relic Seeker, Iroas, God of Victory, Handwear Battlements, Clifftop Retreat, Sunbaked Canyon, and a Mountain. Horatio Twirlstash brings Nicol Bolas, the Ravager, again. He's kept Cryptcast, Arcane Denial, Toxic Deluge, Mastermind's Acquisition, Control Magic, Watery Grave, and Academy Ruin. Glintro, the Reef Thrasher, brings Aesi, Tyrant of Gyre Strait. She's kept a hand of Kamal, Heart of Krosa, Fleet Swallower, Recycle, Mana Vault, Yavimaya Coast, Hinterland Harbor, and a Forest. Gunnar starts us off. Gunnar drops a Rogran Triumph. It enters tapped and he ships turn to Horatio. Horatio plays a Watery Grave tapped. Glintro plays a Forest. Slash and Flame play a Mountain and pass back to Gunnar, with Slash eyeing him weirdly. Gunnar plays a Command Tower, followed by an Arcane Signet. He then suspends Ancestral Vision. It goes into exile with 4 time counters on it. He passes. Horatio drops an Academy Ruins, then Talisman of Dominance. Glintro plays an untapped Hinterland Harbor. Slash and Flame play an untapped Clifftop Retreat, then Aethersworn Canonist. On upkeep, Ancestral Visions goes down a counter. Gunnar plays a Scalding Tarn, cracking it and losing 1 to grab a Snow-Covered Island. He then plays Boros Signet, followed by Teferi Time Raveler. He upticks the Walker and passes turn. Horatio plays Steam Vents, paying 2 life to have it enter untapped. He loses 1 to his Talisman to cast his commander, Nicol Bolas the Ravager. Each opponent discards a card when it enters. Horatio passes. Glintro plays a Forest. Slash and Flame play a Sunbaked Canyon. Aethersworn Canonist smacks Teferi for 2 damage. The duo then plays a Relic Seeker and ends turn. On upkeep, Ancestral Visions goes down another counter. Gunnar plays a Sanctum of Eternity, followed by a Dreamtail Heron. He downticks his Teferi to bounce Nicol Bolas back to Horatio's hand. Gunnar passes. Horatio plays a Non-Covered Island, then his commander again. Each player discards a card, again. At end of turn, Gunnar casts Lightning Bolt, targeting Aethersworn Canonist. It is dead. Glintro plays a Breeding Pool, then Kiora, Behemoth Beckoner. To start off the turn, Relic Seeker is sent to Glintro. She takes 2 damage and the Seeker becomes Renowned, getting a 1/1 counter. Slash and Flame grab a Hammer of Nazan from its Renowned trigger. They then play a Handwear Battlement, followed by a Wyleth, Soul of Steel. Slash and Flame pass. Ancestral Vision goes down another counter on upkeep. Gunnar mutates Vadrok from the command zone onto Dreamtail Heron. He draws a card from the Heron and recasts Teferi Time Raveler from his grave. He upticks the Return Walker and passes. On his turn, Horatio takes a damage from his Talisman to cast Crux of Fate, destroying all non-dragons, the whopping 3 of them. Horatio plays a Mana Confluence, then smacks Teferi with Bolas for 4 damage. Horatio passes. Glintro plays an Island, then Mana Vault. She uses Kiora's untap ability to help cast Fleet Swallower. Kiora triggers and lets Glintro draw a card. She passes. Slash and Flame play Inventor's Fair, then Wyleth again. Ancestral Vision loses its final counter and is cast on upkeep. Gunnar draws 3 cards, then draws for turn. He sees the amount of non-basics on board and decides to play a Blood Moon, punishing Horatio massively. Teferi is upticked and Gunnar passes. Horatio loses 1 from his Talisman, since he doesn't have Black Mana anymore except for that, and casts a Cryptcast. He then kills Teferi with his commander and passes. Using Kiora's untap ability on Mana Vault, Glintro casts her commander, Aesi. Kiora gives Glintro a card draw. Fleet Swallower then heads to Horatio, milling half of his library. Horatio declares no blocks and takes 6 damage. Glintro passes. Slash and Flame play Hammer of Nazan. It auto-equips to Wyleth. The Soul of Steel then heads to Horatio, drawing the duo a card. Wyleth connects, dealing 4, and Slash and Flame play a Plains, followed by Conqueror's Flare. It auto-equips to Wyleth due to Hammer of Nazan. Slash and Flame then pass, but at end of turn, Gunnar casts Faithless Looting, drawing 2 and discarding 2. Gunnar plays a Snow-Covered Island, holding up mana and passing. On his turn, Horatio swings Bolas and Cryptcast at Slash and Flame, dealing 6 damage. He then loses a life to his Talisman to cast Toxic Deluge, paying 6 life and giving the board -6/-6. The field gets wiped and Horatio passes. Glintro casts a Mana Reflection. In response, Gunner casts Arcane Denial, countering the spell. A bit mad, Glintro uses Kyora's downtick ability to untap her mana ball, which she did use to cast Mana Reflection. Glintro passes. On Slash and Flame's upkeep, Glintro and Gunner draw from the Arcane Denial. All Slash and Flame do on their turn is play a Leon and Shikari. On his turn, Gunner cycles Rock and Crystal, drawing a card. He plays a Flooded, that's him out now, and ends turn. All Horatio does on his turn is play a Mystic Remora. To start off the turn, Glintro casts her commander, Aesi. In response, Horatio loses 1 to his talisman to cast Arcane Denial, countering Aesi. Glintro cracks a Terramorphic Expanse, grabbing a forest. At end of turn, Slash equips Hammer Nazan to her Shikari. The turn then passes to the duo. On Slash and Flame's upkeep, both Horatio and Glintro draw for Arcane Denial again. Slash draws for turn, and Flame plays out Grixis Panorama. They then move to equip Conqueror's Flail to Leon and Shikari, but Gunner responds with a Winds of Rebuke, targeting Leon and Shikari. Horatio draws off his fish, then the Shikari is bounced. Each player mills 2 cards. Slash and Flame then replay their Leon and Shikari and pass turn. Gunner plays a Sulfur, actually a mountain, then casts Vadrok, Apex of Thunder. All done, Gunner passes. On Horatio's upkeep, the Mustache Menace plays for his fish. He plays an island, then a Soul Ring. Glintro, still mad at the loss of Aesi, takes a damage for Mana Vault, plays a Simic Signet, then untaps Mana Vault with Kyora. At end of turn, Slash and Flame equip Leon and Shikari with Conqueror's Flail. Also at end of turn, Glintro casts Worldly Tutor, grabbing Birds of Paradise for some reason. All Slash and Flame do on their turn is equip Hammer Nazan to their Shikari and smack Gunner for 5. They pass turn. To start off the revenge plot, Gunner plays Dak Faden. He activates Dak's middle ability to steal Hammer and Nazan from Slash and Flame. Gunner then equips Hammer to Vadrok. He smacks Glintro for 5 with Vadrok, then passes, but on end step, like I've said for the last 7 turns, Horatio loses 1 from his talisman to cast Cryptic Command. He returns Blood Mood to Gunner's hand and draws a card. The turn then moves to Horatio. Horatio lets his fish die. He plays a City of Brass, then loses 2 life, 1 from his city, and 1 from his mana confluence to cast Exsanguinate. In response, like an evil control player does, Gunner exiles a card from his hand to cast Force of Negation, countering Exsanguinate. Horatio passes turn. Glintro plays Birds of Paradise. At end of turn, Slash and Flame casts Boros Charm, dealing 4 to Dak, killing it. Slash and Flame play a SRAM, Senior Edificer, on their turn, followed by Sword of Feast and Famine. They draw from SRAM, then equip Sword of Feast and Famine to Leon and Shikari. It goes at Gunner, dealing 5 damage, untapping all Slash and Flame's lands, then causing Gunner to discard a card. The duo plays a Sun Titan, returning the Rule of Law to play. They pass turn. Gunner draws and passes, holding up mana. Horatio loses 2 life from his lands to cast a Devastation Tide, bouncing all non-land permanents. He then plays his commander for a 3rd time, Nicol Bolas the Ravager. Each opponent discards a card and Horatio passes. On her turn, Glintro plays an island, then Mana Vault, followed by Mana Crypt. Gunner remembers Blood Moon is now gone and cracks his Flooded Strand, grabbing a Snow-Covered Plains. Glintro then plays Dawnglade Regent, becoming the Monarch when it enters. She plays Galta, Primal Hunger, then passes turn, drawing for the Monarch. Slash and Flame start rebuilding as well, playing SRAM again, then Conqueror's Flail, drawing from SRAM. They play a Plains, then replay Rule of Law. Gunner casts Wheel of Fortune on his turn. Each player discards their hands and draws 7. Gunner plays a Skycloud Expanse, then cycles Ash Barrens for a Snow-Covered Mountain to finish the turn. Horatio loses 2 to his lands to flip his Bolas commander into Nicol Bolas the Arisen. He activates the Walker's 3rd ability to return Nicol Bolas Planeswalker into play. He uptakes that Walker to destroy Rule of Law, then ends the turn. Glintro plays an island, then casts Alluvian Primordial. Horatio counters it with Mana Drain. To get payback, Glintro exercises the quote, "The best removal is player removal," and knocks out Horatio with Galta. She then plays a Soul Ring, followed by a Commander Sphere. She draws at end of turn. Slash and Flame play a Soul Ring as well, then Sigard his aid. They play a Plains and a Sword of Vengeance, drawing a card. Flame equips the Sword of SRAM, then plays a Talisman of Conviction. Slash plays an Eidolon of Rhetoric, then equips Conqueror's Flail to SRAM. It heads at Gunner, dealing 5 damage. Slash and Flame pass. Gunner, now realizing just how far behind he is, plays a Saheeli Sublime Artificer and passes turn. Glintro plays an Ancient Tomb, followed by Thought Reflection. She cracks her Commander Sphere to draw 2 cards, then passes, drawing 2 from Monarch and Thought Reflection. Also at end of turn, Gunner casts Reality Shift, making a 1/1 from Saheeli. He exiles SRAM, giving Slash and Flame a 2/2. The turn then passes to the double duo. Slash and Flame play their commander, Wyleth, Soul of Steel. They equip him with Sword of Vengeance and Conqueror's Flail. In response to the flail equip, Gunner casts Dictator Crewfix just to make a 1-1 blocker. Slash drops a Reliquary Tower, then swings all that she can at Gunner for some reason. The duo draws 2 cards from Wyleth. Gunner blocks as much as he can but still takes 6 damage to the blockers. Slash flail pass. Gunner draws 2 from Dictate, then plays an Elsha of the Infinite. He passes, but at end of turn, Glintro overloads a Cyclonic Rift, bouncing all that she can to her opponent's hands. The turn then moves to her. Glintro draws 2 cards for turn, then knocks out Gunner with Galta and smacks Slash and Flame for 8 with the Regent. She then plays Kodama of the East Tree, followed by Jewel Lotus. Kodama triggers, allowing her to play a land from her hand. She cracks her Lotus and taps Ancient Tomb, taking 2 damage, to play Aesi again without fear of counterspells. At end of turn, she draws 2 cards from Monarch, daring Slash and Flame to break through the board. The duo plays a Slayer's Stronghold, then Soul Ring again. They replay Wyleth, then Sigarda's Aid, then Sword of Vengeance. The sword auto-equips to Wyleth. They play Savine's Reclamation, but Glintro counters it with a Fierce Guardianship once targets are chosen. Slash and Flame, mad at the counter magic, play a Talismanic Conviction, then Bone Splitter. It auto-equips to Wyleth. Out of options, Slash and Flame pass. Glintro starts off by casting Apex Devastator. It cascades into a Platinum Imperium and Mind's Desire before Slash and Flame just concede the game, leaving Glintro to win the game. Thanks for watching this fun game. Really shows how strong Simic can be. See y'all next time on The Vortex.